What happens when people are sick or people are hurt or someone passes away in the family? What do? Across any culture, right? We eat, we share food. Barbecue represents that family atmosphere. It represents people coming together and being able to accomplish or overcome things. Ideas are set around the dinner table.
It's part of our culture, and it's the great Texas hospitality, right? If somebody comes to visit, you feed them. There's a great pride in raising cattle, cooking beef. I know there's some things that we, as a beef industry, desperately need to improve upon.
I would describe myself as a punk rock rancher simply because what we are doing flies so in the face of the corporate orthodoxy. People say cows are bad, right? Well, they're absolutely correct that cattle raised the way that we've been raising them the last 100 years is terrible for the environment. I practice a style of ranching called ultra-high density grazing. Let's just say I move my cows a hell of a lot more than my neighbors do. By moving the cattle the way that I do, we graze virtually all the forage off, and then we have these great long rest periods where the grass grows and it's feeding the soil biology. We view the cattle not simply as protein sources or a commodity to be bought and sold, but an absolutely mandatory part of the ecology.
The cattle graze across the landscape. They invigorate the grasses to produce more biomass. In turn, those grasses sequester carbon into the soil to be locked permanently into the soil. I was at an event at the Noble Research Institute, and a gentleman that worked there, I don't want to be doing this if it's not good for the environment. And so I asked him point blank, I said, is there any way we can measure what my carbon footprint is? The project required an enormous amount of data, but at the end of that, their initial modeling suggests that the way that we operate our ranch sequesters a net 2,500 tons of CO2 annually. The way we do things takes 551 cars off the road every single year. The fact that when I sell my cattle, I don't know where it ends up. And when a person goes to the grocery store and they buy beef, it could be from a person like me that cares an awful lot, or it could be from a person that is a carbon source and doesn't conserve wildlife. And I'd love it if the consumers could have a choice in the matter. What I'm looking to do is to make a major impact and completely redefine the beef industry. We're all the best cooks, of brisket. That's the way of Texas.
Brisket is king in the barbecue restaurants. Beef is what Texas is. It's what made Texas, in my opinion. As far back as I can remember, every get-together we had was at my grandmother's house or my uncle's house. And literally, they're across the street from each other, and our whole family would come. And it was always around fire. It was always around either grilling or smoking or barbecue. So to me, that's how I grew up eating. That's just like what it was.
I did not know how to resolve the tension between my ranching heritage and what the cattle industry has done to the environment. When I learned about the principles underlying regenerative agriculture, suddenly the two were able to find a unity.
As a person that lives outside all day, I see climate change, and it's terrifying.
That was a good spot. That's where the fish are. Hey, let me fix your lure.
It's far more important to me to do the best I can to preserve this little piece of land that's my responsibility, and do the best I can to help change the beef industry for the better and make just a huge national impact for all of our kids' futures.
Being able to draw and create and show what smoke and fire and what barbecue means, and be able to put those into other types of food is the future of barbecue. And with chefs and restaurant owners really getting more involved with the ranchers and with environmentalists to be able to keep doing what they're doing. Food brings people together, and it's really important to be able to share that.